Good evening tonight to Division 4. Welcome to Japan, the land of the rising sun. Of course, first ever Japanese GP back in 1976. Of course, the famous year of James Hunt's championship win over Niki Lauda, where Mario Andretti first came out on top at the Fuji Speedway, where Suzuka now holds the mantle of the Japanese GP since 1987. The track, one of the most iconic in F1. I say that near enough week in, week out at this point, due to the amount of historical tracks we've been racing on this season, including Spa, Brazil, Silverstone. I believe we've raced that as well. Of course, Japan coming up in real life over the next couple of weeks. The near enough 6-kilometre circuit, first Grand Prix in 1987 at the track, with a lap record of a 30.9 set by Lewis Hamilton in 2019. Looks to be a bit dark and gloomy tonight. Possibly a bit of rain later in the session as we come towards that one. As we get all set up tonight. Japan track with 18 corners, very famous corners, 130R, Spoon, Casio Triangle final chicane, where Senna and Prost have made contact in the past. They also made contact into turn 1 and turn 2 back in 1990, where Senna obviously won the championship that year. As we see the first cars head out all on track now, the Williams of smooth operator, and just coming through the S's now. Easy to spin it, especially on those curves. If you see on the inside and the outside, they're easy to spin on them. This corner should be flat out. It's just very hard to nail, and you don't want to get on that grass, because as soon as you get on that grass, it just slips you off into the gravel and into the barrier. Eventually, Degner 1 and 2. Easy to get caught on the curb on the outside of Degner 2 here. Raised curve, you see, you heard the engine revs rise way up as he passed through it. That being because of the curb and the spinning wheels due to that of Billy G. Currently our championship leader in the pit lane at the minute, Esteban Vicker in P2 on his outlap after DNFing last week due to a connection error in Brazil on the opening lap. His AI finished the race but was not allowed to collect points for him, so he was classed as a DNF. Billy G coming home in P3 in that race, got himself into the championship lead. Doran in P3, a good 30 points behind them though, and only 10 points ahead of Dom, who was last week's winner. The podium for Doran kept him within 30 points of the lead. Can't take the lead or even P2 of the championship tonight. 4 points is the gap, however, between the two in the lead. In the constructors as well, Aston Martin still leading the way healthily by 27 points tonight. They should, barring any double DNFs, should keep it in the championship lead as well. We'll ride on board with operator as he comes through the S's now towards the end of sector 1. Little lift as he's just waiting for the grip to ramp up towards the end of this session. If we get the grip ramping up towards the end of the session, of course we may get a bit of wet. Evening everyone as well, especially Dan, as a little bit wide there. Easy to do, carrying a lot of speed through that section of the track. Couldn't get my words out there. As he comes through the hairpin now, turn 7. No, it's turn 7, sorry. Turn 11. As we come through to Spoon. Verstappen and Vettel crashing here in 2018. Verstappen stuck it up the inside. Vettel turned in, made contact, and they both went round. In a year full of mistakes for Sebastian Vettel and that Ferrari team, including in the opening rounds in Bahrain, where they had some pit stop issues, which is characteristic of Ferrari. As he comes through towards the Casio Triangle, Nicholas Latifi turning in way early in 2022 and ending up nearly back in sector 1 as he comes around the final corner at the operator to set the banker of a 30.5. That is the time for everyone to beat. Silver Fox up next to try and displace him. Redout, up next with a 30.1 to displace the Williams. Silver Fox is going to be next up to have a crack at it, and he's going to go to provisional pole as well, just 6 thousandths of a second faster. Dom, last week's race winner, is going to come to P5 after a slide up the final corner. John Mobes to finish his lap goes to provisional pole as well, 29.7. They're all getting faster. Maggi to P4. The Alpine of Alex Haig couldn't find the 29.5 fastest. Brass Monkeys P9 setting another lap. He will be. Doran to the line is going to go to P2. The Vicar in P16 at the minute as he comes through the final 2-3 corners downhill. Very easy to get spun and lose control there. DRS out, and it's going to be P7 for the Vicar. Of course, he says it himself to me. His quali pace isn't the best, but he's one of the quickest in terms of race trim. Maybe even a wet setup there. He sits behind his son on the same row as him at the minute as well, which is interesting to see. Preb up to P4 as well. Billy G on his outlap. Dylan Vince to finish his lap, coming just out of Spoon now. Does he have Night Creed ahead or behind? Night Creed is behind, so it'll be him to set the lap first out of these two as he comes through to 130R. Alonso and Schumacher in the early 2000s, mid 2000s it would have been, sorry. Alonso in that Renault, overtaking him round the outside through 130R. Round the outside as well. He's going to tuck inside towards the line. He's going to take the shallowest angle and it's going to go to P11 in that Racing Bull. Sliding out that final corner again. Night Creed, that's going to be an issue all race possibly for a lot of drivers. Billy G, our championship leader, starting his first lap of the session. Is anyone else on a lap? Alex Haig? No. Doran, John moves into the pits. Preb on none as well. Mad G. The Vicar is on hot lap 2. Coming through Spoon. Doesn't look like he's on a lap though. James and Brass Monkeys to the line, goes to P11. Ahead of Dylan Vince this time. Night Creed and Billy G, who we're going to ride on board with for this lap as he chucks it through the S's. Corner after corner, and you just can't get a breakthrough there. You get a short reprieve though heading into Degnal 1. As you just kind of keep it turning. Degnal 1, you get a very short reprieve. Little brake and hard on the brakes as you come around the second corner. Don't want to get too high on that curve on the outside. It loses your grip, loses your control, and you'll end up on the inside under the bridge and in that wall. The hairpin turn 11. Could have carried a bit more speed. Very hard to get and nail though. Traction loss on the exit, and a lot of the time due to the banking nature of that corner through to Spoon. Again, you want trying to nip those curves on the inside. Easy to spin it if you ride them properly. And to the outside of the track there as he comes down towards 130R, a mini pitch straight in Japan. Over the bridge he goes, over the other part of the track, the only track that is a figure 8 configuration of course as well. The DRS detection point there into Casio Triangle, on his brakes just before the 50. Into the first part of the corner, into the second part, over that curve. You want to nip the inside, hit the second side of it though, and he's going to cut it short to the line. It's going to be for P4 for Billy G. And that is a good lap for our championship leader. Jumps ahead of his championship rival as well in P9 at the minute 2, who is, by the looks of it, on a lap. As he comes through Spoon now, we'll see the gap delta now. We actually don't have that up. That is on me there. As he comes through under, not under the bridge, over the bridge it'll be this time. 6/10 he is up. That'll be good enough to go ahead of Billy G just about. As we come through the final 3 corners, Casio Triangle, and then the downhill dip. Kubica and a lot of drivers have crashed there in the past. It's P4 for Vicar, just ahead of his championship rival, and just behind his teammate there. All Ferrari second row of the grid so far. Billy G is going to look to change that though. He looks like he may have enough fuel for one more crack at it next lap. He has John Moves behind him on an outlap though. Will we see a let through from Billy G? We may have a look at Dylan Vince as well. He looks like he's on a decent lap as well. 7/10 up as he comes through to the final 3 corners over that chicane. You can see how hard you want to hit that curb. As we saw it with the Vicar, his car was practically bouncing over. As he comes to the line, it's going to be P11 there for Dylan Vince. 8/10 improvement, however. That is a nice lap by him. We're all within a second of each other now for the first time this season, near enough. All qualifying cars within a second, nearly. Readout through Sector 1. 2/10 down there though. That is the only problem with that one. Billy G did come into the pitch. John Mobes is out. Looks like the Vicar's going to go for another crack at it as well. Will he have enough time to get round again, then round again, of course, with the in lap, and then the out lap at the end of the session? He's got 8 minutes to do it. A minute and a half ish for the actual lap, then maybe a minute and 40 for the in lap. 7/10 up John Mobes. That is a purple sector 1. That is rapid. That is going to be half a second quicker than Alex Haig if he keeps on this pace. If I'm not wrong in saying John Mobes has got the most pole positions this season. Don't quote me on that one, I'm just going to double check that. Coming up to Spoon, a bit of traffic in his way. That looks to be a Williams and a V-carb in the high speed corner. You don't want to get in dirty air there, but you might want to get a bit of dirty air and a nice little toe down this next straight here as he overtakes him on a qualifying lap. That may have cost him a bit of time though. And we'll see John Mobes, the man with the most poles this season, is looking for another one as he comes through Casio triangle over one curb. Doesn't take it as much as the second. They're very wide out the final corner though. That's going to compromise him and compromise his lap time. He's still going to go pole though by 2/10. But that was a 5/10 loss, and we may see if he does go for it and improve in the end. Vicar into the pits, Doran on his outlap. Alex Haig through sector 1 now as he rises and dips through the Japanese soil. As he goes over Preb with the fastest lap now, 29.3. Goes to provisional pole. Alex Haig not improving through sector 1. He needs to improve 2/10 to go on to that front row of the grid and take the first place from Preb and capture his first pole of the season over the McLaren. It's very slidey out of the hairpin though, and he may have lost time there, and that may be the end of his qualifying lap. It is the end of his qualifying lap. He goes into none and sits there. Doran with the fastest first sector of anybody so far though, as he comes through Degner 2, through the hairpin. Little kink right before you slam onto the brakes instantly. Very hard to nail, very easy to lock up and go straight on into that gravel outside. Pretty much perfect for Doran there through Degner 2 and the hairpin, as we'll see what he does through a Spoon. Very easy to invalidate, of course, as you ride out wide. Through that corner, he nails it pretty much very wide through the second part of it though. He gets the ERS straight on to try and negate some of that lap time. It looks like he's was lifting a little bit there on my screen, as he's 5/10 up at the minute. As you saw his throttle slightly go up a bit. Well, down a bit on the straight, sorry. And we'll see what he can get done through the final corner. It's going to be Esfar Doran, and he's going to go to provisional pole. 29.0 for now, 6/10 up on his best lap time there. Preb looking to improve, possibly go faster. No, he's going to pit and choose to go again. Smooth operator. Not currently on a lap either, but Doran with the fastest lap of anybody so far. 3/10 ahead of Preb. Will he have enough time to go out, come back in, and then go back out again, of course? As Doran on his in lap, he's not going to have enough fuel. Vicar coming out first. Not first, sorry. He's going to come up behind Billy G. A couple cars now coming out for their final lap times of the session. Doran will have enough time if he speeds it. Of course, having that fuel symbol though is not going to help him. Billy G under the bridge as his teammate's about to cross over it. Two Aston Martins crossing the figure of 8 points at the track, of course. First half of this track goes, I believe it's counterclockwise, and then it changes to clockwise, of course, with it being the figure of 8 configuration that it is. The only figure of 8 configuration in Formula 1 history, and the only one currently on the calendar, of course, as well. It'll be interesting to see as we come to the start of the final runs now, who does get pole. Will it still be Doran? Will it be Preb? Will it be John? Will we see a huge improvement from from Dom or Billy G or Vicky. They only need over a second to probably capture this pole position. Doran will have enough time to come out and try and defend that lap time though if he wants to use the tyres. Out the final corner, it looks like Billy G's going for a double out lap though, to try and warm those tyres up and wait as long as possible. Who's that Red Bull going past? That was Mad G, the Division 3 drop down mid-season. As he comes through turn 1, he's sliding into turn 2. That may affect his lap, it will affect his lap time a lot onto the grass though. As Mad G coming through sector 1. Usually quite a consistent driver, and usually has a lot of pace. Of course, getting used to his wheel, which he's doing really well at the minute. Not easy to get used to a new like pad or controller, or any type of control at all. You could be using a flight simulator for all I know. That would be an absolute pain to drive, especially around a track like Japan with that first sector, or any kind of tight, windy track, especially like it. But Mad G, as he comes through Spoon, we'll find out as he reaches about midway through this straight, we'll find out exactly what he has set through the current sector. It's going to be 6/10 up as Mad G. It's going to put him about P5, possibly P6, maybe ahead of his dad there. Just hopping over the curbs, getting a nice exit. There's multiple lines you can take through there if you want to go for a better exit, better entry, or overall speed. And it's going to be for overall speed. He's going to go ahead of his father in P5. And Mad G is ahead of his dad, but not for long possibly, as his dad's on a lap not far behind and is going to follow up. And as he comes through the final 2-3 corners, it'll be the final corner now, the dip down into the main line. It's going to be for the Vicky P6. Not faster than his dad, Alex Haig to P2 as well. Dylan Vince, James up to P11. John Mobes, no improvement. Sorry, yes improvement. Was it improvement? No, it wasn't. It was P4 for him. Billy G, as he comes through Degner now, 5/10 up straight away. Doran on an outlap, he'll have enough to get done. See people go for multiple laps though, that is the question as well. Dom to P6, huge improvement for him. 4 seconds improvement as he jumps ahead of the Vicanal, who may have enough to go for one more lap. He doesn't have enough fuel by the looks of it though, and that could be the end of the Vickers session in down in P8, possibly P9, possibly P10 come end of the timer minutes ago. It will be P8 at a minimum, I believe. Brass Monkeys to P12 as well. Smooth Operator out the session. Doesn't feel he can go faster in that pit lane. Billy G a 10th up now. He was fit fastest through sector 1. Maybe a mistake through Spoon or the hairpin. They're the only 2 corners in that sector. As hopping over the curb, we'll see as he dips down to the line. So tight to try and improve, and it's going to be no improvement. It's going to be the 2 championship rivals alongside each other on the start again, and we may see a battle between the 2 now as there's a couple of cars through here. We'll see James get another lap in, possibly Dylan Vins may get another lap. He will get another lap. Mad G retires with no improvement possible. Doran could not see what he got through sector 1. As we come to Alex Haig is down, won't have enough time to get one more lap, so it will be Doran on pole. Bar and Preb improving, which he is not. He's in none as well. So it's going to be SFR Doran as he's going to rip it round. We may see if he can get a faster lap time here. It's coming round Spoon down the long straight towards 130R. I believe 130R is called that due to its radius. That is the angle it actually is through the corner itself, as he goes a little wide through the first part, nice and tight through the second part, and nice and tight of course to the line. It's going to be SFR Doran. He's going to go into the 28, and he's going to go into the 28 by over 4/10 to the next to 29, and then it's going to be 7/10 overall. SFR Doran will be on pole for Japan, barring a late charge by Dylan Vince here. as Doran takes his third pole of the season. As Billy G into the pits, that more or less confirms it, down in P8 behind the Vicar, who's looking to steal that championship lead back at him. 4 points is the gap between them, and it's going to be Dylan Vince to the line. He's going to go to P6. Nice lap from the V-Carb there, pulling it out at the last, and he moves up to P6 ahead of Dom, Vicar and Billy G himself. So it'll be Doran on pole for the third time this season. Third time I've said it all year, as we just wait for Billy G to enter the pit lane there. Doran on pole, followed by Alex Haig in P2. P3 was OWR Preb, looking for a good result tonight after a double 2 DNFs in a row. One last week due to connection issues though. As it's Doran on pole, followed by Alex Haig in P2, Preb in P3, John Mobes P4, SFR Mad G in P5, P6 is, I'll re-get that up now, as we come into the race. Turn 1 will be an interesting one. It is SFR Doran on pole, which I've repeated about 4 times now. Alex Haig P2, Preb P3, John Mobes P4, Mad G is in P5, Dylan Vince came home in P6. P7 was Dom, last week's race winner, looking to go on the double, but on a bounce here. The Vicar in P8, followed by Billy G in P9, Silver Fox P10, Readout P11, Smooth Operator in the Williams P12, Brass Monkeys P13, James in P14, Night Creed in P15, Wakey Joe in P16 due to a qualifying ban tonight. Doran, of course, taking home his third pole position of the year, looking to convert this into his first win since Mexico, the opening round. His first win was, he's had a lot of P2s, 3 P2s since that, 4 podiums overall. As we head onto the formation lap now. 2 lights on, green lights are going. Doran getting a lot of sliding off the start though. As he starts on the hard, Alex Haig looking to jump him into turn 1. Being on the inside, of course, that is the advantage around here. Alex Haig in P2. Preb on those mediums as well, looking to possibly get past Alex Haig and John Mobes and Mad G, both on those hards. Dylan Vince on the mediums too. He's going to go for a medium hard. They're all going to go. It's always going to be 2 either mediums or hards in this race. Just matters what order. Dom's going to go hard to medium. So is the Vicar, Billy G medium, to try and jump Vicar and Dom. Silver Fox, Readout, Smooth Operator, Brass Monkeys all in a line of 5 in the mediums. James C. Killer breaks it up on the hards. Night Creed and Wakey Joe on the mediums too, to finish off the grid. There's Doran there. You don't want to be doing that too often in the grass on the formation lap. That's an interesting way to warm the tyres. Of course, he'll be wanting to get through that corner a lot better come the actual race. As you come through, tyre warming all done. Of course, with how this track is, the inside into turn 1 is there. couple of tracks it does change. Canada, you get the inside on the well, you get the outside technically when it comes to starting the race, but yeah, inside for Alex Haig. Doran lines up alongside. We'll get a good view of them all this time for once. As we all line up, Esteban Maggi's left the session in P5. Revs rise, lights rise, and it is green in the land of the rising sun. It's a good start for Doran. Alex Haig with a good start too. Preb alongside, by the looks of it, on the outside, it's going to be for him. Into turn one, John Mobes on the inside. Dom up to P5. Dylan Vince with a poor start. Billy G with a great start there. The Vicar getting swamped by a couple cars as well after a poor start on those hards. It looks like he's in the gravel. Looks like he made contact with his kid there. It's the Ghost there. However, he's going to be down to P10 possibly here. He's already a second off a smooth operator in the Williams, who's had a flying start here. Billy G2 up to top 6 already. Going to try and get to P5 along with that ahead of Dom. Dom with a good start. John Mobes there too. But Doran on the hard, getting the important thing out the way and getting a good getaway. As we come to the end of lap 1, I'll send an invite off to the Vickers. It looks like the V-Carb trying to get a good exit as well. There's a car on the inside there that looks like the Haas of Readouts. Or it may have been Brass Monkeys. It was Brass Monkeys. Night Creed as well making contact too. Vicar back within that DRS second already. John Mobes already fallen off it. And this will be interesting as we head through to 130R1 for the first time in this race. Esteban Maggi back in the session, which you'll love to see. Cars up ahead there. It's going to be John Mobes and Dom through 130R this time. It was up for the P4 and the P5 battle. P4 battle coming out stronger. The inside for Dom through the second pass of the corner. It'll turn to the inside for John Mobes though for the next two. Esteban Maggi out the session again. Doran going fast. It's Alex Haig looking for the fight though into turn one. He's going to take it from him. Preb is going to sit behind there. However, the only DRS zone into turn one is there. John Mobes still fighting with Dom. Billy G there just behind. And the Vicar looking to claw back from it after a poor start by him. A little wide for smooth operator there. Smooth operator. The Williams behind. Mad G's back in again. And we'll see Billy G getting past Dom after a poor mistake at the end of the S's through Dunlop Curve, I believe it is. Billy G goes wide though, and he goes very wide out of Degner too. On those mediums though, he looks absolutely rapid. Preb all coming through. Those hards are going to take a while to get up to temperature. It looks like they may be up to temperature now, as he's going to try and push on and retake the lead of the race from Alex Haig, who may want to try and run away with it on the better tyre for now. John Mobes looking to get back into that DRS as well. You'll see them all come down now. We're going to follow Dom with Dylan Vince behind him. It'll be into 130R. We'll see, does anyone make a pull out through 130R? No, they don't. Billy G may go for a dive bomb. It looks like there's going to be a dive bomb. Dylan Vince on the grass. Dylan Vince locking up. Dylan Vince going straight on the Casio triangle. And Dylan Vince is going to lose P8, P7 as well, possibly. He's lost the DRS for sure. He's got the DRS just about, but Vicar is going to capitalise on the Williams going wide, and he may capitalise on Dylan Vince going wide too. Billy G up to P4 straight away on those mediums, 2 laps in. He's absolutely flown the field for now. He gets past John Mobes into turn 1 with the DRS on him, of course, though. That does come to help him. I'm thinking now as well, Doran looks very quick through the first sector. That may be because he's running higher downforce compared to Alex Haig. Well, Alex Haig may have made a mistake this lap. Doran going very wide, hitting that inside curve, which kind of just threw him off and threw him well out through Degner 2. Degner 1, sorry, Degner 1 exit. As we come through the hairpin now, many a dive bomb's being seen there. Many a dive bomb's being done by me. And the dive bomb's being hit by me and not pulled off by me. That's Doran coming around Spoon. Now we'll get the nice run and the nice toe into turn 1. As we come now towards the Casio Triangle, will we see a dive bomb into the final corner, final chicane? No, we're not going to yet. As they're all within a second of each other now. Vicar is starting to pull back in as well. Doran down the dip, DRS open, and he's going to take this turn 1. And he's going to take the lead back again from Alex Haig. Something's up on my mic there. But Doran is back into the lead of the race, heading through Sector 1. Looks like Alex Haig may be struggling a bit through Sector 1, which is helping Doran. Billy G as well, it's helping him a lot, who's right on the back of Preb. He's going to be looking to fly past him very quickly and take the lead of this race. A little wide for Preb, putting the pressure on. John Mobes dropped to P6 as well, with Dylan Vince right behind him now. As they come through, we're going to see a pull out from Dylan Vince. No, we're going to see a bit of a switchback possibly, as he's going to go for it around the outside. No, in the end he doesn't go for it. No moves yet. Alex Haig coming through. Dylan Vince on the back of John Mobes there. We'll see if one of them does pull out eventually. So within a tenth of each other, we're going to see up the inside for Dylan Vince. He's going to try and pull it off this time. Slight lock up on the inside. There's contact between the two. Wheel banging, but they get through cleanly. And Dylan Vince on the inside for turn 1. And the rest of it though is going to be Dylan Vince towards turn 1 takes P6. Billy G, no move there yet on the McLaren. Will we see it through round the outside into turn 3? No, he's going to try and pull it off through the S's though, maybe offsetting that McLaren and going for a switchback. Looks like he's so much quicker. He was practically pushing him a second ago. Preb out the DRS though. He's starting to struggle a bit, possibly in the dirty air of OWR. Alex Haig, the 2. Our teammates technically not teammates right now though. That's through Degner 1, through Degner 2. They all clean. Underneath the tunnel they come. No movement from either of them yet. Billy G under pressure from Dom. However, Billy G may have a run on Preb here through to Spoon as they dip down the hill towards turn 12. No movement from either of them. He has the slipstream, he has the ERS possibly as well to use that to his advantage, but he's just not going to go for it yet. As he comes into 130R, is he going to go for it into Casio Triangle? He's going to go for it into turn 16. He's going to swap one way. He's going to go for it up the inside as Billy G. He's going to try and push it off. That'll be the outside turn to the inside. It'll be the inside for Billy G over Dom as well, who looked to have a move on him. Round the outside is going to be 3 wide into turn 1 here possibly. And it is 3 wide. Billy G gets overtaken by Dom, who's up to P3. Billy G can't get the move into turn 1 either on Preb and loses the position. Dom with a really, really nice overtake alongside that. Alex Haig swapping for the lead as well. John Mobes and Vicar alongside each other now, as it looks like Billy G is really trying to push past in Sector 1. That is where Preb struggles the most, I think, as that'll be where the downforce advantage comes to him. Dylan Vince and Billy G still fighting along as well. Dylan Vince up the inside, sorry. Again, my mic is... Oh God. Might need to get a new mic with that insurance. Thank you, Curry's PC World. as that'll come through. Doran on the back as well. The two Ferraris going to fight through 130R. John Mulbs just concedes the position, doesn't want to fight it too hard, lets his teammate go, but will get the DRS on him and maybe see a move into turn 1 as well. Billy G looking for that move right back on Dylan Vince, who's tried to, got a little cheeky on him. There, Preb with a lot of straight line speed. Doran as well into turn 1. He's going to take the lead from Alex Haig. Dom keeps P3 for now on those hards. It's going to start coming to him now. Over Alex Haig as well. Those mediums may start to fall off a little bit. Vickers going to come too as well. The grip hards are going to appear to have more grip now. As we come through, Degner 1, Degner 2. The Doran is seemingly starting to pull away a lot. Looks like Dom's starting to pull in a lot as well. Those hards may have the advantage now. Alex Haig does have that straight line speed advantage. Dylan Vince has the straight line speed as well, though, over Billy G. And they're all within a bit of a train of each other at the minute. Mad G on the fight back in P11 at the minute. If he does get inside that top 10 or even top 8, I'll definitely give him driver of the day. He's not too far behind this lead pack. He did have a lot of pace in qualifying. There's the car on the wall, Preb out. And that is our first safety car of the season. Preb in the wall, out of Spoon. And this is going to really help the medium runners as they get to pit onto the hards. What will these hard runners do? Will they pit themselves? We'll see. Doran stays out. Alex Haig's obviously going to pit. Dom stays too. And everyone's going to pit on those mediums. This is the perfect opportunity for all of them. James Z Killer up to P8 as well. That's going to be a top 5 berth at the minute. Matt G's been given a lifeline here practically after the mistake earlier in the race. Wakey into the pits. Reed out, stays out on the mediums. A couple medium runners staying out there, as of course the old IndyCar saying, cautions breed cautions. The safety cars breed more safety cars, as of course it brings everyone back together, and these offsets in tyres is going to be really interesting to see. The hards kind of had their choice made for them, but 20 laps on the hards is going to be a tough and a tall order come to the end of the race. And we will see who does eventually come out on top, though. Those new hard runners are going to have an absolute massive advantage over the current ones. Night Creek comes out though. The first safety car of the season. I've not really had to deal with this by myself this year yet, and I'm glad I've had to wait near enough till halfway through. And while we're under the safety car conditions, we're just going to go over some motorsport news at the minute. Of course, the big one of the week, Formula 1 news, big one of the week. Yuki Tsunoda has been swapped for the Japanese GP and beyond with Liam Lawson. The two swapping from VCarb and Red Bull and to VCarb, of course. The Yuki Tsunoda being promoted to the main team after over 70 races. Since 2021, that is, as the two Haas's come into the pits finally a lap later than everyone else, and they'll be cycled to the back of the field. Liam Lawson, after a poor 2-race stint, demoted down to the junior team. As well, the Haas team have revealed a new special livery, and Red Bull have teased at a special livery for the race. The Haas one, absolutely beautiful, if anyone is to look at that one. And some more news along with that. That was more last week's news, but the Chinese GP, of course, Lewis Hamilton disqualified along with Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly for technical infringements. Yeah. Had some more news somewhere. I'm trying to find where this news is. MotoGP. Marquez as rain fell shortly before the race. Red flag shown, and Marc Marquez abandoned his bike on the grid and caused utter chaos in that race. And new news: Victor Martins in F2 has left Alpine and has joined Williams Academy for the future at them, and it may be getting a promotion next season if Sainz doesn't pull his finger out recently after a poor start to life at Williams as well for him. WRC Ogier to make his return for any rally fans. 6 cars in this lap, and that will be it, and we move on to that one. It's coming through now for the first safety car of the new year. A rolling start for these drivers. Will Doran go? It looks like he may have already gone. He was taking a lot of speed there. He's gone now. He's going to give Dom a nice little tow through to turn 1 though. Dom having that straight line speed and a lot of ERS. He's going to go for it into turn 1. He's going to go for it up the inside possibly. He's going to be cut short by Doran, and he's going to take the lead of the races. Dom into turn 1 and 2. Vicker right behind as well. John Mobes in P4. James, not much going on up and down the field. Those towards the back have all been caught off a bit by this. Billy G stuck behind the Williams of Nightcreed on those old mediums. Only medium runner to stay out under the safety car, of course. Billy G will have to get past him quickly as we move towards the lead. Vicker on the back of Doran. Doran on the back of Dom as well. The two Ds together. Both Mercedes powered car. Looks like Doran's made a mistake though, out of the hairpin. And he did make a mistake, and that was a big mistake. And it's near enough. It's put Vicker right on his diffuser. Sitting on his rear wing at the minute. Here's the Vicker coming through Spoon. He's going to get a big heft of understeer though due to the obvious dirty air issue. James Z Killer P5 putting pressure on John Mobes. He's going to go for it into 130. There's going to be contact, and the two of them make contact. James spins. Matt G gets up ahead. Alex Haig gets up ahead on those new hard tyres. Looking to fight back into the top 5. He's now got one less car to do it. There's the two V-Carbs on track together now as well. Doran get overtaken by Vicker there. Into turn 1 to 2. V-Carbs into turn 1. Dylan Vince on the inside. On the outside, James Z Killer just lets him through turn 2. As Billy G, of course, got past earlier in the lap. Forgot to mention that one. He now chases down James. And Dylan. James going very wide, though, on those older hards. Mad G going to try and hold up Alex as much as he can to try and keep that position. Try and hold off in terms of time for those tyres when he eventually does pit onto the mediums. John Mobes and Doran. Doran's still on the back of the Vicker as well. He'll be wanting to get past into turn 1 right again. Matt G just wanting to hang on to the rear wing of John Mobes one more lap to try and help him just stay ahead of Alex Haig. If I'm John Mobes, I'm probably saying, right, I'm just going to drop back a little bit, help this man get DRS, help this man defend from the people behind me, but it's not going to be enough. He's not even going to wait to the DRS. Alex Haig's going to go round the outside into 130R. He's going to get that move, half a wheel on the grass for the Alpine. He's going to get that move done well before the DRS. Dylan Vince looking for a trademark little dive bomb into that corner. He's already had a dive bomb this race. Didn't pay off for him though, as we all dip down. Matt G with the DRS though. Dylan Vince with the DRS though. And we'll see into turn 1. It's going to be 3 wide. Matt G gets right back past Alex Haig. Just going to go for the outside. He's going to have a lot more grip. He's going to have a lot more tyre life than him. And he's not going to get it done. Dylan Vince had a look into turn 1 as well. It would have been 3 wide for the 3 of them. And that is where he just sits behind for now. Billy G getting past James 2 in P8 there. He's now back on the back of Dylan, Mad G and Alex, along with that John Mobes now looking to stay ahead. He's just going to try and keep him out of the DRS for now. Dom without a penalty, the only driver with a penalty. Brass Monkeys down in P13 for now, as we near halfway distance in the race this evening. We'll see what does come of it. Mad G under pressure from Dylan Vince. Dylan Vince is going to have a go into 130R, just like Alex Haig the lap before. Alex Haig, he's practically pushing him. He's practically pushing Mad G into 130R there. He's not going to get it, but will he go for it into? He's going to go for it round the outside into the chicane. No, he's going to brake early. Try and get a bit of a switchback, better exit, get that DRS advantage. Mad G with a poor exit though. He's going to near enough concede the position to 1. Will he concede the position to 2? He's blocked off into turn 1 round the outside. Goes Billy G, and he's going to take P7 there from the Red Bull. Dylan Vince had a look into P5 as well for Alex Haig, who had no speed. Speaking of speed, Billy G right on the back as well of that V-carb, looking for P6 to jump ahead. Doran's dropped off of Vicker as well, who's now released to try and get Dom before the pit window opens for these hard runners. Safety car's throwing a bit of a spanner in the works for a lot of these drivers. Going to be over 20 seconds back their counterparts who already pit on the mediums. Silver Fox has made a mistake there too, through with the hairpin on the exit. The newer hards seeming to have less grip there than the older ones as he comes through. Night Creed overtaken by Brass Monkeys through one Spoon, and there's contact between the two, thrown well out wide is that Williams. The two Williams on track together as well. We may see a swap between the two. He's going to go for it up the inside into 130. It's going to turn to the outside for Night Creed. There's contact between the two as it looks like Smooth Operator hitting the curb on the inside there. That may have thrown him well wide. Alex Haig under pressure from Dylan Vince. Dylan Vince concedes the position. Sorry, Alex Haig concedes the position. Doran concedes the position to John Mobes into turn 1. Those two just staying ahead. Night Creed into the pits. 10-second time penalty for the first time in this race. He pits for the only time in this race. He hopes. Billy G on the back of Alex Haig. Now he's right on the back of Dylan. A lap ago and he has a lot more downforce there. He's proved it over Alex Haig. That Alex Haig just has no downforce compared to that Aston Martin. He's proved it compared to the other Aston Martin there. It looked like on the grass Billy G got on the entry of Degner 1. Under the bridge they go in towards the hairpin. It's going to be Billy G just sitting behind for now as well. 3/10 is the gap. 2/10 is that gap between the two of them. It's going to increase as they head towards the Casio Triangle and Spoon. It's going to be Spoon first, coming out the hairpin. It's going to be through Spoon. 4/10 on the exit is where he's going to lose a lot of time. He's lost a lot of time there as he goes very wide. Does the Aston Martin? He may even lose DRS. As he's going to lose a lot of time as he goes very wide through the exit of Spoon, chasing down the Alpine. Doesn't come to him at all as he's lost time there. John Mobes under pressure for the lead. There's going to be the Vicar. He's going to go for it round the outside on Tom. He's going to have that move well before turn 1 though. Doran gets past John Mobes. While one Ferrari moves up, the other Ferrari moves down. Dylan Vince in P5 as well, now back on the back of John Mobes with the fresher tyres and a lot more pace by the looks of it due to the extra grip he has. 7 lap newer tyres than the two of them. 7 laps ago the safety car came out. Lap 7 it was. Those on the mediums they started. They still have 12 laps to go. It'll be 19 come the end of the race. They'll finish on those tyres. G pulling a bit as well. Billy G there too. Dylan Vince is going to go for up the inside into John Mobes. No, he's not. He's going to sit behind through the hairpin. A lot of them sitting behind through the hairpin. He's going to go for it into Spoon, though. He's got a lot more grip on the exit, though. He's being forced to the outside by the Ferrari. He's going to go for it on the outside. That'll turn to the inside for Spoon, of course, as he goes up into P4. And it looks like he's kind of ran off the Ferrari off the road there through the second part of Spoon. There's contact. Alex Haig spins into the grass. He gets it going again. Matt G is now on the back of that Alpine, though. Billy G, P6 in the Aston Martin. John Mobes making contact with the Alpine of Alex Haig. It looked like Dylan Vince kind of shoved him off a little bit, which caused John to make a mistake. Into the pits comes Dom. He's the first of the hard runners in. 15 laps he lasted here tonight. First of them into the pits. Dylan Vince is going to go for up the inside. No, he's going to sit behind again. Another lap on those hards. New hard, but he wants to get past before the pit window, trying to extend that gap before the fresh tyres come in for Doran and John and the Vicar, of course. Those fresher tyres, you need to get past as soon as you can, because those fresh tyres come in very, very quickly for these drivers. And it'll be 20 seconds. He'll be over 2 seconds to lap. Billy G and Dom. And John, sorry, not Billy G and Dom, Billy G and John through the hairpin. It looked like maybe having a look at the Aston Martin. Dylan Vince is going to have a look again, though. He's done it once this race. He's going to try and go for it again up the inside into the Spoon. He's not going to go for it this time, though. Not enough speed over that Aston Martin. As it looks like one Aston Martin goes off, though. It looks like Billy G, as they nearly make contact again with the car coming back on the track, did Alex Haig. And that would have been 2 laps in a row for the Alpine. He's not going to be happy with that one. Forced to the outside for 130R. No move there for him. Looking for another podium this season. Alex Haig, I believe he already has one. Billy G late on the brakes. John Mobes going wide though through the first part of it. John on the inside. He's going to not get the move. He's not going to be able to defend these fresh tyres for long. But Dylan Vince isn't going to be able to. Doran is not going to be able to defend for long either as he goes. John Mobes. Oh. John Mobes slightly spinning on the inside of turn 1. Keeps the position ahead of Billy G, though, with some strong defending. And the DRS, of course, thanks to Doran's team, Billy G's teammate Doran, helping him defend the position ahead of Billy G. Billy G wanting to use those fresher tyres, though. A lot later on the brakes, you see how quickly he closes up. He's practically pushing him round there. The corner, a tenth of a second was the gap for it. Was the gap there? He was making contact with him practically there. Billy G up the inside through the hairpin. Oh, John goes slightly wide. May help him get it open. It's coming through Spoon. Once again, John Mobes goes wide this time. Billy G gets him on the inside of the second part of it. Alex Haig now may have a chance at the Ferrari. He does have a chance at the Ferrari. He gets past the Ferrari, may have a chance at the Aston Martin along with that. Red Bull behind Matt G. Looking at it too, around the outside. He's being forced to go. Has Alex Haig. He's going to go for it later on the brakes. By the looks of it, looked to be Billy G. Is later on those brakes. Heading into turn 1. Matt G into the pits. The Vicar into the pits. Doran into the pits. Alex Haig. John Moses just got him past on those 17 lap old hards. And Alex Haig is going to have to fight for another lap to try and get past John Mobes, and he's going to sit behind him through the first sector again, which is really not going to help those tyres, really not going to help that pace at all. Dylan Vince, 2 second lead now. As Dom comes out ahead, 2 laps ahead of the Vicar. Not 2 laps ahead, a second ahead of the Vicar on 2 laps older tyres. John Mobes going slightly wide through the exit of Degner 1 now. May pick himself up a warning. He doesn't be doing that too often. It's very easy to do through Degner 1. You just have to hit the inside of the curb and you get washed out way out wide through there. And it does tend to happen a lot. Wakey and James fighting. Maybe Wakey. Yeah, it looks like Wakey made a mistake as James gets passed on into P5 on the 17 lap all tyres. He does have to pit though. Wakey will get that position. And another one as John Mobes has to pit soon too. He'll be pitting this lap by the looks of it. 10 laps it'll be for those medium runners. They have to pull in over 2 a lap it'll be. I'm going to have a look at that. It will be 2. It'll be about 1.5 seconds per lap. Plus overtake, so it'll be about 2 seconds a lap. And as Martin Brundle always says, into the pits comes John Mobes first. That's not what Martin Brundle always says. Martin Brundle always says catching is one thing, overtaking is a completely different one. James stays out another lap with Wakey behind. Brass Monkeys not far there too. John Mobes and Dom passing the line. Dom with the fastest lap of the race, 31.6. He's on a charge so far. He's got Smart Operator Readout and Brass Monkeys in front though. The 3 cars 2 seconds up the road, 1.8. He's flying. As it looks like the 2 Hasses were going side by side through the S's there. They was by the looks of it. And that has really helped Dom close this gap almost a second straight away through sector 1. It was a 16-second gap. It's now a 14-second gap. And the tyres will just start to fall off though towards the end of this race for Dom. He needs to use them quickly. Use that advantage they have as well with the Vicar behind. Those two won't want to get into a fight as well. Don't want to be getting into a fight with the Vicar early, because that will just slow you down later in the race. Using the tyres, and it'll slow you down right now in the race as well. Fighting. You just want to use each other. You be each other's friend for now. You can fight later in the race. It looks like defensive there was Dom, sorry. And that may have opened him up to an overtake from the Ferrari. James into the pits. 10-second penalty for speed. No. It's going to affect his race. The Vicar into turn 1. It's going to be heading into turn 1. Brass Monkeys P5 is overtaken by Readouts. Smart Operator behind. Vicar makes contact. There's Dom. Makes contact. Loses front wing on Smart Operator. The newer tyres coming in advantage there on the later on the brakes, but it's not helped at all. And that is really going to affect Dom as he looks to go for another race win. What a move from the Vicar there, by the way. Around the outside, a Smooth Operator come through to Dunlop. And that is a shame for Dom. He's going to have to really... Oh, he's wide as well. And that's unlucky. And now he may have to pit, missing an end plate on that Mercedes after contact with the Williams through turn 1. Later braking distances for the newer tyres compared to the older ones, and that is the consequences of not braking a bit earlier. And we'll see if he does it indeed even get into the top 5 here. Dom, of course, struggling due to the mistake. It'll be Vicar around the outside into 130R though. He's going to be shoved off by the Haas of Readout onto the grass. Goes the Vicar. Can't really do much there. All the tyres and 130R don't really mix, as he would have had to lift into turn 1. It'll be interesting to see what the Haasses do with each other into turn 1. The Vicar, the 1 holds up, but the Vicar gets past 1. The Vicar's going to go for it through 2. No, he's going to go one of them. No, Dom's going to go for the 2 drivers in 2 corners. He's going to get the 2 drivers through the 2 corners, but through the 2 through tier 3, slight contact between the 2. Dom passed with a broken front wing though into P7. Now chasing down the Vicar. Readout as Smooth Operator off the track. Goes Smooth Operator though. He's in the gravel as he gets shoved off by Readout. Readout's under pressure from Doran. Now he's going to go for it around the outside through Degner 1. He's going to go for a switch back through. Degner 2 though. No move there. Brass Monkeys now goes off as well through Degner 2. Dom may have a look into the hairpin. No. Mad G with the 3-second time penalty there in P11. But with fresh tyres, he's going to try and make his way up the field. And Brass Monkeys went very wide there. through Degner 2 may have made contact with the Vicar, or may have just locked up slightly on the grass. Speaking of locking up, Dom was on the grass there on the outside. Entry into Spoon. You don't want to be doing that too often. Very easy to spin, especially as you come later in the stint. For those tyres, as they lose grip, lose surface, they get very, very worn later in the race. Up the inside goes Dom. Dom cuts the corner. Doran goes around the outside of Readouts, and Dom picks up a penalty. Doesn't pick up the position, but he's going to pick up the position now into turn 1, well before turn 1. He's going to pick up P6, but with Doran not far behind as well on slightly fresher tyres, he's going to be looking to, and with a fully intact front wing, he's going to be looking to take P6 from him as well. It'd be interesting to see now the Vicar. The Vicar is 10 seconds off a podium, but is 13 off of the lead. We'll see if he does use the tyres, 6 to go. He's going to have to gain 2 seconds a lap and then overtake cars as well. It may just be a podium for the Vicar, but as those hards get later in the race, they will weigh a lot more. Billy G's closing in on Dylan Vince as well. 1.3 seconds. It may be another win for Billy G tonight, extending that championship lead though. Brass Monkeys and Doran fighting there. Very wide goes Dom. Out of Spoon. It's going to be Doran round the outside into 130R. I wouldn't do that with the broken front wing on the inside. It's going to be risky. On the grass goes Doran. John Mobes up the inside through 130R as well. It's all kicking off for P6. Dom and Doran round the outside goes Brass Monkeys, who locks up big time, spins, makes contact with John Mobes and Mad G, who doesn't have damage. John Mobes doesn't have damage, but Mad G, and that is really unlucky for him. And I really feel bad for Mad G there. John Mobes getting past Brass Monkeys now, though. He's going to try and get Reed out. He had a chance to get Doran though with the fresher tyres, 1 lap fresher tyres. He won't come to it. There's Doran right on the back of Dylan Vince through the S's. That extra downforce due to the intact front wing really coming to play now, as he looks to go up around the outside through Degner 1. He has a lot of overspeed out of Dunlop and into Degner 1. He round the outside, gets the move done. What a move by SFR Doran. That is going to be overtaking the race by a mile in Degner 1 with a broken front wing on the inside. And that could have been disaster for the two of them. But fair play, both of them kept it clean. And beautiful overtake by SFR Doran. Now chasing down P5, which is the Vicar. 8 seconds up the road though. They've all been held up by Readouts, Brass Monkeys and Smoth Operator. Vicar on the back of Wakey though. He's got 8 seconds ahead of Wakey to try and catch Alex Haig for the podium position of P3. He'll have to do that in 4 laps though, as we come to the start of lap 24 for the Vicar. He gets the move right done well before we even get to lap 24. He gets the DRS2. Mad G up to P10 out of the Casio triangle. May have gone for a dive bomb on Brass Monkeys there, or may have just been a lock-up from the Haas like the lap previous. Doran under pressure from Dom as well with the less downforce, a lot more speed on the straights for him. But this is where he'll really start to see effects of it. Through sector 1 he goes very wide. John Mobes around the outside, switches to the inside, and that'll be another switch back possibly for John Mobes. He's got a lot more grip than that Mercedes, but he just can't use it. He's going to try and use it through Degner 1, lifting off and staying behind for now. But with Readouts behind, there's contact between two. Bit wide for Dom. Through Degner 2. Readouts up the inside on the old hards as well, locking up, getting the move done. 15 lap hards versus the 8 lap mediums, and he gets the move done very easily on John Mobes, who left the door wide open through the hairpin. And that is a beautiful move by the Haas on the worn tyres. He's really going to come to it now. Billy G with a 3-second time penalty in P2 under putting pressure on Dylan Vince. I think he's just thrown away a win. Maybe throw away a podium too. He's going to take the lead of the race. Now he has 3 laps to pull out a second a lap on Dylan Vince. Alex Haig in P3 as well, just over 3 seconds. It'll be P2 at a minimum, at a best for Alex Haig at the minute. Based on pure pace, 3.1 seconds is the gap to Billy G for him. Extends through the first sector though. The Aston Martins have put a lot more downforce on compared to the others. Vickers through sector 1 as well, pushing Alex Haig and pushing the guys in front. He needs to come 2 seconds a lot faster. As we come towards the end of this. Oh my god, I don't think I've been on mute that entire time. I really hope not. As my voice is starting to hurt now speaking so much. I really hope that isn't the case. Alex Haig starting to pull in a bit on Billy G. 5 seconds is the gap for the Vickers though. He needs to pull in 2 seconds a lap on that, on the Alpine, and then overtake him with 2 laps to go. He's got 3 seconds a lap to do it, but I really don't think he'll be able to. Dylan Vince will have this race win for now. Billy G may be able to get a penalty removed if he was shoved off earlier in the race, of course. A lot of people have been tending to do that this race, which is quite interesting to say the least. Alex Haig, you can see him in the background looking for the P2. If he can get within 3 seconds, there's contact there. Yellow flags through turn, through sector 1. Looks like through turn 6. It looks to be readouts. It also looks to be Mad G getting past Dom, and Mad G into P7. That is a nice move by him. Let's we'll swap back now. Alex Haig in P3 as we'll move towards the final lap of the race. Billy G picking up a 3 second time penalty though is going to affect his race win. He's going to lose him his race win. Dylan Vince just has to sit behind and collect the win. And through for the penultimate time, down the dip and onto the final lap they go. Dylan Vince is going to go for it round the outside into turn 1. He's going to go for it up the inside actually. Billy G showed him the outside, went, no, I'm taking that inside. Dylan Vince takes the lead of the race, wanting to win this race on track as well. Now will be interesting to see through sector 1, does that affect Billy G, the dirty air behind the leader? Does that affect him as he's really starting to pull out? He's in the grass. Billy G's lost it nearly, as he's lost a lot of time. He's going to lose the P2 as well, and that is a big mistake for Billy G, as he goes very wide through the just out of Dunlop. And like I said in qualifying, easy to do, but once you get on that grass you just can't stop and you just keep going and going and going. And he's lost huge time due to that. He's lost a second to Alex Haig, who's now within 2 seconds of him, with the 3 second time penalty on top of that. And that'll be interesting now. The Vickers just could not pull off the strategy due to the safety car early on. 20 lap old me hards. 10 lap later he pits on lap 17. Cannot get it done, but it's going to be Dylan Vince on the road. He would have had the race win anyway. But on the road, Dylan Vince for the first time in Division 4. And the first time this season is going to win a race in the V-Carb. Billy G comes home on the road in P2. Alex Haig takes P2 proper. P3 for Billy G it'll be. Vickers in P4. The Doran coming down in P5 ahead of Wakey. SFR Mad G in P7 on the road. It'll be P8 on track come the end of it. Dom, P9. James in P10 on those softs, picking up a 10-second time penalty as well due to speed in the pit. Smoth Operator, P11, P10. Brass Monkeys, P12. Or P30. Readouts to P10, sorry. Smooth Operator in P12. P11. James in P12. Brass Monkeys in P13. Silver Fox comes through 130R now and will take home P14 in this race. Night Creed in P15 and Preb early in the race on those mediums will be our only DNF tonight due to contact with the wall out of spoon, and that is unlucky for him. 3 DNFs in a row for Preb. Night Creed coming home in P15, and that is the end of the race. Dylan Vince is your winner. Alex Haig is your P2 man tonight. P3 extending his championship lead tonight as well is Billy G. P4 the Vicar limiting the damage due to an early safety car and an offset strategy due to that. Would have been interesting to see who did actually win if there was no safety car, but of course safety cars are a part of racing, it does happen. P5 Doran extending the championship lead for Aston Martin. Wakey coming home in P6. P7 for John Mobes. P8 for Mad G. After a disconnect early on, he gets my driver of the day. After a disconnect and being way out the field, driver of the day goes to Mad G. P9 for Dom. P10 for readouts in the Haas. Williams in P11 of Smoth Operator. P12 for James. Brass Monkeys P13. Silver Fox in P14. And the other Williams of Night Creed in P15, the last of your finishers. Of course, Division 3 action still on right now. Same track in Japan, Land of the Rising Sun. Who will rise to the top in Division 3? Division 2 on tomorrow night, 7:30 start and qualifying, and Division 1 on Wednesday next week. We return to Division 4, 7:30 on a Monday night. As always, in Division 4. Next race, we will be in Qatar, the desert of Qatar. And then it'll be Canada the week after. Who will come out on top in those 2 races? Will it be Vicar? Will it be Billy G? Will it be anyone else? Thank you for watching. And make sure to subscribe and watch Division 3, which is still ongoing, of course. And